Earlier today, we responded to a tragic event that took place outside of an elementary school. At approximately 7:40 a.m., police responded to reports of an incident outside an elementary school in the 300 block of Strathcona Drive S.W. Upon arrival at the scene, one woman was located suffering from what appeared to be stab wounds. Despite the efforts of officers on scene who performed life-saving measures, the woman was declared deceased in what is believed to be a targeted incident. Officers from across the police service immediately flooded the scene and worked with the administration at both an elementary and a preschool to facilitate lockdowns as a precaution to keep staff and students safe. Just before noon, police located the suspect deceased nearby. Investigators continue to speak with witnesses and gather additional information. This very much remains an active investigation with many moving parts. As our members continue to work to piece together the circumstances that led to this tragic event, our focus remains on the well-being and safety of those directly involved and impacted. As is standard practice with incidents that are believed to be domestic in nature, we will not be releasing the identity of the deceased after completion of the autopsy. This is to protect the privacy of the family and the children involved. We would like to thank school administration for working with us to initiate the school lockdown and for helping us facilitate access for parents picking up their children from the school. This was a very traumatic event that occurred in a public place. Our victim assistance support team is engaged and will be working over the coming days to speak to anyone who may be impacted by this incident. The Family Violence Helpline is available 24/7 at 403-234-SAFE. That's 403-234-7233. We also encourage people in need to call the Family Violence Info line at 310-1818, which is available 24/7 and in more than 170 languages from anywhere in Alberta, or call 911 for a crime in progress. There's not a lot of information specifically to this investigation I can answer, but I will be taking some questions from you at this time.
Were there children that witnessed this happen?
There is no indication at this time that there was any children that witnessed this event. We had a number of adult witnesses that we were able to make contact with that were able to provide us with some interviews and some statements in that regard. But at this point, like I said, there's no indication that we had anything happen or that we had any children witness this event.
Can you fill us in on where this event started and then took place? Did it all happen in front of the school, or was it another location and then moved to the front of the school?
All of our all of our information so far indicate that this happened in front of the school.
What was the deal with the white car? Are you still chasing it?
No, we have located that white car, and we are no longer searching for it.
The car of the suspect?
Yes.
Another question, is the police service considering it as a femicide?
At this point, as I said, it's an ongoing investigation, and there's still many aspects that are being looked at this very moment. I can't comment specifically on what it is or confirm exactly how we're viewing it at this point.
Indication that the suspect was known to police, and perhaps was there a restraining order against that individual?
We can tell you that the offender in this incident has been previously charged and had been released by the courts on a no contact order. I can also tell you that there were active warrants on the system for the individual.
So it's confirmed the victim and the aggressor knew each other?
I can't comment on the nature of the relationship between the two, only that it was domestic in nature.
Can you say what prompted the active warrants?
No, I don't have any information on that.
Any other questions?
Is there anybody you're looking for in connection with this? Anybody additional?
As I said, we're still looking for anyone who may have saw anything today to step forward and get a hold of our investigators. As I said, there are so many moving parts still at the moment. We're just looking for more information at this point for anyone who might have it.
Have you guys found a weapon?
I can't comment on that.
Has friends and family been notified?
I don't know the full extent of who's been notified and who hasn't. That will probably be made available in the coming hours and days.
Are you supplying support?
Yes, as I said, we've actively engaged our victim assistance support team. not only to the families of people involved, but to witnesses or anyone else who may have been affected by this clearly tragic event.
Yeah, can you speak to kind of just the magnitude of that? I mean, this is happening basically on the steps of a front school. How traumatizing is it for people that witness what happened?
Well, I mean, it's terrible, really, right? I mean, here we have a situation where people had done everything right. They've engaged the police. We've engaged them with services, support, court support, safety planning, and the whole 9 yards. And to have something like this happen in a school, in front of a school, obviously is horrible. So we want to make sure that we look after everybody who's even slightly affected by this, for sure. So, and we'll make ourselves available 24/7 to make sure they're taken care of.
What kind of resources were put into those hours before the body was found?
Sorry, can you clarify that?
Just police resources. So we saw the helicopter up. We saw.
Oh,
you know,
well, I can tell you as a duty inspector, it was a fairly great magnitude of resources brought together. Like I said, that was our #1 focus at that point in time, and we had engaged numerous different sections and people within those sections, and it was full speed ahead on that to, first of all, make sure that everyone was safe, subsequent to what we discovered, and then to hopefully have found everybody. And like I said, a short time later, we found our other person deceased.
Is it confirmed that it was a parent from the school?
I'm, as I said, domestic in nature, not going to comment on the nature of the relationship.
Like the parent, the person who was there at the school, was it a person from the personnel of the school or it was a parent?
No, that's again, that's not something that we're still getting to the bottom of all that. I'm not going to comment on that.
Are there children that are being looked after because of this through?
Again, I'm not going to get into that just again because it's domestic and we're protecting families and all the rest at the moment, and that if anything is going to become more available, that'll be released in the coming days.
Have domestic incidents risen over the past couple of years after COVID?
I don't have any information on that specifically to that question. I mean, domestic violence is always of major concern for us, as is most crimes, but I can't speak specifically to increases or decreases in the last few years.